This video will be how to create a basic gable roof in SketchUp. So I'm going to just orbit above this so I can look down on it. And I'm going to tap R for rectangles and go from this very far corner out here, complete outer, like top right, to completely cover this all the way to this point right here. So we could build a roof from this, but I want to create a roof that has an overhang where the roof extends past the walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click this rectangle, tap F for offset, and this time I'm going to click and drag out. When I let go, I'm going to type in 12, enter. And if you start by double clicking that original rectangle, which is the way to do it, double click the original rectangle, then do the offset. The offset gets created and you can hit backspace or delete, and that kills the original shape. It's a little hard to see, but here, I'll undo it. So if you start by double clicking and the edges are lit, which they were, do the offset. So you can see it offset out 12 inches. You can right away hit backspace or delete, and it's a little hard to see, but that original shape, I just deleted it. And it's a little hard to see, but now instead of having an inner zone and an outer zone, which would be the 12-inch offset, I can tap P for push-pull and pull this up as one block. I'm going to pull it up and type in 8, enter. And that's going to basically create the roof edge. And I think I'm going to triple click that and make it a group. And this basically becomes a roof edge that we can build the rest of the roof off of. Now all I have to do is tap R for rectangles, draw another one right on top of this. And I'm going to hit L for line, the L key on the keyboard. Find the midpoint, there's that blue midpoint. Click and drag a line all the way across. Good idea to hit the correct arrow key, which in this case is the left one for green. And aim carefully and click it in on the line on the other side. So we split this into two sections now. If I hit the space bar, I should be able to see actually two separate zones. It's a little hard to see because it's sitting on top of that other group. I think I'll hide this roof edge group for a second. You'll be able to see it better. So I've got this completely separate rectangle now. It's kind of floating. It's got that section and that section. I'm going to hit the space bar, put the point of the cursor right on that line, and now I'm going to tap M to move it. Click really on any point, and I don't want it to go kind of, like that. So I'm going to hit the up arrow key, and I'm going to drag it up, and when I let it go, I can tell whatever distance. I think I'll put in 16 apostrophe, enter, for 16 feet. So 16 apostrophe, enter. Okay. So now I've got this kind of tent shape. And if I wanted to fill in, I could draw a line across here. I'll just show you. I could draw a line in. SketchUp likes to self-heal, and that would fill that space. But a more efficient way to do it, I'm going to undo that, is to just draw a rectangle. So I'm going to hit R for rectangles, click on this point, and that's kind of like that corner diagonally over to this corner over here. And that filled in both sides. If I unhide now, go over to the tools on the right, click on the glasses, hit unhide all, and we got that. So that's kind of the basic representation of a gable roof. But we're not done yet. So at this point, what I want to do is kind of add these two shapes together. The top shape, which is still kind of a raw shape, it's just made out of planes and lines, to this group. So what I'm going to do is take this group, right click and explode it. Choose explode, which basically just ungroups it. So now this is one whole thing. To finish a gable roof, we got to do two things. This triangle actually becomes part of this wall, and right now it's sticking out a foot. So a couple of things we have to do. I'm going to tap the space bar and then hit E for erase. And I'm going to click and hold the mouse button down, keep it held down, and drag through this line. And I might as well orbit around and do that on the other side also. And now, this narrow band here, that's called the fascia board, this guy. You basically have to create that up and over on the gable ends. This is the gable end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap T for the tape measure. I'm going to click on some random point, not an end point, not a midpoint. Click and drag out a tape line like that. And if it's pink or gray, it's parallel. I don't want it to be red, green, or blue. I'm going to let go, and in this case I'll tell it to be 8, enter. And you'll notice it doesn't go right to the corner. That's okay. I'm going to do that on both sides. SketchUp tends to like to snap, kind of, so if I pull this out, if I kind of go out slowly, it may even set to 8 inches, but it kind of wants to go to 8 like that. But just in case, I tend to just pull it out in space, let go, and type in the number. In this case, 8, enter. Those are guidelines. They don't do anything. They just are guides. So now I'm going to hit L for line and draw in the lines I want, which is, you have to be careful here because it's not the corner. It's where the guideline intersects right there. So I'm going to click there, zoom out a little bit, I'll roll the mouse wheel, zoom out, go up to this intersection, back down. Sometimes I'll even overshoot. I'll just draw it on the line like that. And then I can hit E for erase and then just drag through that, and it just gets rid of that excess piece. Right. I don't have to do all this on the other side, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click in this space. You only have to click once, and then I'm going to move a copy. So on a Chromebook it would be M, and then tap M, and then tap Control. On another computer it would be tap M and tap Alt or Option. And I'm going to click on a point like this one and move a copy over. Here's the copy. And I'm just going to move it down. So I'm going to click on this point here, and then I'm going to move it and paste it in. Click right into this same point right here. Click on the end. You have to aim carefully, but as long as your aim is good, you've got it in on both sides now. Then I'm just going to hit the space bar. If something's selected, I'll just click an empty space. And then I'm going to hit P for push-pull, and just click and push this surface in. And just don't let go of the mouse button. Just push this in and just kind of touch a point like that one, or touch an edge like that one. But it's going to bring, even if I touch it just to this plane, it's going to bring it back in. I think I'll use a point. Actually, I'm going to touch this point. It's going to bring it in line with that, which is going in a foot. So now it's flat. This is all, if you painted a paintbrush across this, this would be all one plane. Then, if we're lucky, we'll go to the other side and hit P for push-pull and just double-click, like click, and that shot it back the same distance. And then just to finish this up, so this is the gable end, which creates a gable roof, which would be this two-sided roof. So I'm going to triple-click this. And even though part of this is roof and part of it's wall, we may separate out this triangular wall because that really is part of the wall. But we'll make this, right-click and make this a group. Always remember to save your work and know where it's saving.